Hello everyone. I think one of the main challenges we face as guitar players, particularly at the start, is how to make scales sound less like scales and more like music. I remember when I first started learning, I was really excited about writing and playing my own solos. And I was told that the first step was to learn the A minor pentatonic. So I learned the A minor pentatonic and I played around with it. I played it up and down and I thought, hang on, this doesn't sound like the Stairway to Heaven solo. How do I actually make it sound like music? And of course the answer to that is learning how to phrase. That is, how to form musical ideas using the notes in the scale. Kind of like forming words from letters and then using those words to formulate logical sentences and so on. Now, the best way to learn how to phrase is by studying how it's done by players who are really good at it. And in my mind, there's no better place to start than B.B. King, who we know was a master of saying everything he needed to say in just a few notes. His phrasing was so expressive and so captivating that he could take you on a whole journey in just 12 bars. His playing literally inspired generations of guitarists and continues to do so today. So I thought it would be interesting to do a breakdown of the solos in Chains and Things, as they are brilliant examples of how we can use the A minor pentatonic, a basic rudimentary box pattern we all learn as beginners, to play beautiful musical phrases that truly say something to the listener. The best part is that you don't need fast fingers and crazy technical chops, making these solos ideal for beginners who, like me at the time, had learnt the scale but didn't really know what to do with it, or really just anyone exploring the blues for the first time. Enjoy! So we're playing in A minor, and for this we'll be using minor pentatonic shape 1 and shape 2. I'm sure everybody knows shape 1. Now for shape 2 we'll be using the upper part of that shape. Okay, starting with the first phrase in shape 1, all we're going to do is bend fret 8 on the B string up to fret 10. If you can, try to add a bit of vibrato at the top. For the second phrase, we'll be staying in the first shape. So that's a tone bend, going to a pull off, finishing on D7. For the next phrase, we'll be sliding from shape 1 into shape 2. And here we need to make sure we are rolling the index finger from the B string to the E string. Next phrase. So we're going to pre-bend fret 10 to fret 12 and then release it, pull off, then 10. That's the root note. And B.B. King does that a lot here. Every time we hit the A, we're probably going to add a vibrato to it. The next phrase is similar, but we're starting off with a bend. Again, we have that vibrato. Next phrase. And here, we're ending the phrase on fret 8 and doing a little quarter tone bend with the index finger. Next phrase. So we're going to start by bending the 10 to 12, pull off, quarter tone bend, vibrato to finish. Next phrase, we're starting at fret 10 again with a full tone bend. So this is a bend to a pull off to vibrato. Now for the next phrase. Now here we can bend the 10 up to the 12 or the 11. Doesn't really matter, either works. To my ears, I think BB's bending it up a whole tone, but it's up to you. And this is one of the key concepts that BB uses in this solo. Bending the note, releasing it, doing a pull off, and then either finishing on the root note, the minor third, or both. Onto the next phrase. Another full tone bend, pull off, quarter tone bend, and lastly, the ending. We're moving back into shape 1 here. So this is a hammer-on from G5 to G7. Then it's a semitone bend and release to a pull-off. Moving down the scale. And here we're finishing on a E dominant 7 chord. Okay, on to the second solo. This one is a little bit more intricate and it involves some of the B.B. King licks that we all know and love. For the first phrase, we'll be starting in shape 1 before sliding into shape 2. And here we have to make sure to roll that index finger from the B string to the E string. Next phrase. Here we have to make sure to add plenty of vibrato to B10. That's the root note, and a quarter tone bend on E8. Next phrase. So we're bending up that fret 10 and we're holding it. If you can, try to add some vibrato at the top. Next phrase. This is just simply playing up the pentatonic scale and bending fret 10 when you come to it. Just make sure to pitch it up to fret 12, that's a tone bend. Hammer and pull off. Finishing on B10 with plenty of vibrato. Next phrase, think of this as 3 mini phrases combined into one. So this is a hammer-on from fret 8 to fret 10. Semitone bend to release to a pull-off. That's a pull-off at the end. The next phrase is very similar, but we're going to hold that final bend at fret 10 and aim to add a bit of vibrato as well. Next, this is the BB signature. And I find that the best way of doing this is using the other fingers to gently mute the other strings as we rake down the strings in order to hit the destination note at the end. You let the pick fight through the strings to hit the final one, which is at E17 here. And then we do a slide off. And whenever BB King does this, he always does this with the root note. So he goes an octave up from minor pentatonic shape 1, so that will be here. This is the A, and then he would strike that. So if you're playing in E, that will be an E. Or if you're playing in G, that will be a G. Next phrase, we're moving back into shape 1. And here it's essential to roll this index finger between the G and the B strings. This movement is key. So it's really about moving the wrist and also engaging this joint here. Next, we're moving back into shape 2. This is a semitone bend to a release to a pull off. And then we have the special again. And finally, we're moving back into shape 1. Quarter tone bend, followed by some vibrato. And here are the last couple of phrases. So we're moving down the pentatonic, tone bend, pull off, G7, rolling at fret 5, I hope you found this breakdown helpful, and maybe you even discovered a few licks you can use in your own playing. If you're new to this, have a go at jamming some of these ideas to a backing track in A minor and applying them in your own way. Try to start or end your phrases on the root note, which is A, because this will help to make them more coherent. And remember to let them breathe a little bit by leaving some space every time you play. Most importantly, have fun with it. Till next time.